gets it here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on Passive.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is March 11th, 2021. Welcome to the Julie and Milo Show. My name is Julie Nguyen. I'm coming to you from Newport Coast, California. My dear friend Milo. Milo, could you please say hello?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you, Milo. Milo, you and I have known each other for 3 years. Recent year, we've always on the phone 1,000 times a day. And especially when we started the Julie Milo show, we on the phone a lot. But the major subject that we always talk about is Onpassive. Onpassive is an artificial intelligent information technology, and it is a brainchild of Mr. Ash Muffard. Behind Onpassive is a community of people. Every time we're getting together, we get to share the vision of Mr. Ash Muffard. We get to share the passion of how each individual of us feeling about Onpassive. And yes, today we do have a special guest in our holding room. She is a major supporter for Julie and Milo show. When I say major supporter, is every time we have a show come out, she watched them, she loved them, and she comment on them. We really appreciate to have her here. But Milo, I'm just gonna have you please introduce our guest today.
Thank you, Julie. Wow. It is a pleasure to have her on our show today. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. She is one of, like you said, the best supporters, and we see her typing all the time. And everyone in the community knows her because she types and she just offers great comments and stuff. And so, with no further ado, I want to bring to the stage right now Cynthia Brown. Come on out, Cynthia. All right, Cynthia.
Hi.
So good to have you on the show today.
Hello,
Thank you.
Cynthia. Good seeing
Hi,
you.
Julie.
Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Cynthia, we like to do these shows and we love to do these shows. Me and Julie say we're the most blessed people in the world because we get to meet founders every day like you, but we get to know more about them. And that's what we want to do today with you. We know some about you because we watch you a lot, you know, in the chat rooms and the comments and the webinars and stuff. But what we want to do, take about 2 or 3 minutes and tell us, number one, where it all started, where you were born, about maybe your parents and your siblings, and then your life now.
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. And my parents, they're from North Carolina. I just lost them, but God rest their soul. But my mother, she was a boss. You know, she did all kind of business and everything. Then she got into children and the elderly. She had 4 personal care homes and 3 homeless shelters, 3 or 4 homeless shelters. But you know, so we ran them pretty good. You know, I ran one of them. I ran one of the homeless shelters, and I ran one of the homeless, the elderly place. So I did pretty good with that. My dad, he was a gardener, and he was a farmer and a builder. He built just about every building downtown, and even my junior high school. So he was pretty awesome. I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers, um, and I have 4 children. And I have a partner. Her name is Leslie Williams. She's also a founder. She be in the community a little bit, but she's a little passive. That's my life now.
Fantastic.
And my baby is on passive.
Awesome. Well, now I got to tell you, we've always known the Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, as the home of Cedric Flowers, and now we can say, oh my God, it's the home of Cedric Flowers and Cynthia Brown.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
Yeah. So Cynthia, I have read your bio and I've seen so many interesting things that you have done. And I've seen you on a webinar and you share about your parents. And I'd like to go into that a little bit later. But one thing that struck me the most is that you have taught a little boy who has no feet, and you have taught him how to ride a bike. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Yes, he was a little boy in our boarding home. I believe he was from Vietnamese, and he stepped on a landmine, so he didn't have any feet. All he had was nubs, like just straight. And he would walk on them and everything. So he always wanted to be outside. So I used to take him outside, and he used to look at the kids riding the bike. And he wanted to learn so much. So I had a little bike, my size. So I actually taught him how to ride a bike. He put his nubs on there. I showed him how to turn the pedal. But the only thing when he was coming down the hill, he wouldn't use the brakes. He would stop the bike with his nubs. Excuse me. So I had to teach him how to use the brakes. But he learned how to ride a bike, and he did pretty good. Yeah, I took care of some interesting people.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Ju.
That is amazing.
yes, that is amazing. And you said he's a Vietnamese boy?
Yes, yes.
Cool. That's good to know. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
I'd like you to share with me just a little bit with us here, a little bit about your relationship with your mom. You had shared with me previously. So tell us a little bit about that.
My mom and I were close. She used to get into all kind of business. And I was the one child that used to always get in it. She would tell me, just try it, just try it. So I would get into everything that she did. Even when we got the boarding homes and the homeless shelters, I took classes with her. She showed me how to do everything. So I learned how to do everything pretty young. I didn't have a degree with taking care of people. It just came natural to me. So she and I was really close. She taught me everything. But when she passed, I felt real lost, because she would have been all over this. But she was my partner in business, and I felt like I didn't have anybody else. But now, when I really got into Onpassive, I know that I'm not alone now. I'm not. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, it is absolutely amazing, this thing. So let me talk a little about your dad, because I was in the building trades. I sold lumber to contractors and stuff like that. Was your dad into commercial building, or was he in residential, or both?
I believe both, because when he was asked, he was from North Carolina, and he was asked to come to Philadelphia to build a church. So him and a couple brothers, his brothers, and a couple guys, they came to build this church. So he does masonry, he did plumbing, he did all of it.
Multi-talented.
Yes, he did a lot. And he
Awesome.
was a great farmer.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
he built a lot of stuff around the town there, you say?
Yes, in Center City. He had his hand in all of the buildings.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about your hobbies. What do you like to do when you have free time?
I like to do arts and crafts. I love to cook. Um, I love gardening. I have plants. I have like 20 plants around my house. I guess I get it from my dad, but I love gardening. I get up every morning and attend to them. Arts and craft, I like to do that with my grandson or the grandkids, or just me and Leslie. We just like to do things like that. She sews, you know.
Awesome. So let me ask you this: do you sing?
Yeah. No,
Oh no, Cynthia, I had a feeling you sung. You don't sing?
no, I don't sing. My family, my brother sings. I have a brother that sings pretty good. You
Uh-huh.
know, you actually touched my heart. I was listening to you one time. You were saying how you were singing to a lady in a home and she couldn't speak and she started speaking after she heard you sing. Well, my mom was. We were all in the room when my mom was transitioning. You know, and my brother was singing and we were all holding hands and everything. And my mother actually started singing as she was transitioning. It was the most beautifulest thing I ever seen. You know, you couldn't hear every word, but it was like every other word she would say, and she was like actually singing it, going to heaven.
Absolutely.
It was amazing.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story. And music touches lives, you know. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
it does. And I've seen it. I've seen it before where, you know, I had we called her Mama Ginger, but she was at the end of her life and she was thrashing about. And my brothers and sister said to me, said, watch this, and they put in my CD of all old gospel songs, and she calmed
Yes.
right down, and it was the most amazing
Wow.
thing. You know, but I think when you're struggling or whatever, and you got that peace coming to you, like stuff that you might have learned when you were just a kid, you know, but it stays with you, you know. And there's something about music that just touches lives, and it changes
Yes.
lives, you know, and
Yes.
it means so many different things at different times. You can have the same song played at one time, and it'll mean something entirely different when you're going through something else and it's
Hmm.
played. You know what I'm saying? So I love music, as you can tell, but
I do too. I just can't sing.
I thought for sure. I said, man, this girl can probably sing, boy.
All you have to do is start singing some tune, and
Mm,
it just comes, Cynthia. And that's how
yeah.
I think a lot of people starting to do is start singing. So I'd really like to go into the topic that it is a reason for all of us here is the topic of Onpassive.
Yes.
And I know you're very passionate about Onpassive, and I like to find out. Many of us have actually heard a little bit of what you told on the webinar, and I'd like you to tell it here also is how did you join Onpassive? Who told you about it? And what make you take the action to become a founder? So take as much time as you need to tell that story, please.
Okay. I don't remember the lady that told me to get it, but I was listening to uh, Scott Nelson. My dad was dying from cancer, and he was really sick. But he was in the next room, and he heard me listening to Scott Nelson, and he said, "I don't know if you hear it," because he doesn't believe in none of those the get rich schemes. That's what he called them. But he was interested in that, and he told me to turn it up, and he actually listened to it. So the next day, I was making him breakfast, and he asked me, "Play that video again we was listening to yesterday." So I was looking for Scott Nelson, but I found Ash, and my dad really liked it. He said, "Did you hear what he said?" He said, "If you get in this, you'll be set for life." You know, he said, and you can help your sisters and everybody, you know, in this country voice. So I was like, all right, Dad, I don't have any money. I I, I stopped working because I was injured on my job and I didn't have anything. All I had was, was taking care of him. I had stayed with him. I moved in his apartment just to take care of him. So he got me in this. He said, "I'm gonna put you in there." He went. He took me to the bank. He got me a bank account, and then he turned around and put me in Onpassive. So then he got So I put, I put it aside. I didn't think nothing of it anymore. I just, took care of him until he passed on. So I sat on it for a year. And then one night I was sitting in my living room in the dark and I was thinking about my mom and dad. And I was just watching a video of Mike Ellis. He was explaining the pay structure, So all I could hear him say is the sheer volume. He said, when I think of the sheer volume of people coming in under you, like the 3 to 3 to 3, like the sheer volume, and then my rubber band started popping in my head. I was like, what? Wait a minute, because it was like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, is this what my dad got for me? So I started listening. I was like, this. So then I started liking and sharing and just trying to get my kids in it. I tried to get my nieces, my nephews. Nobody was listening, but I got all 4 of my kids in there, thanks to him. I said I'm in there. I don't have to worry no more. So that's how I got into Onpassive. Thanks to my dad, I'm in there.
Wow, what an awesome story. And I mean, man, he took care of his little girl, that's for sure, right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He worried about us. He worried about us girls, and he was feeling bad that he didn't have, he didn't have anything to leave us. He said, boys, I know that they'll come along with you girls. And that's why he got it for me. He said, because I can help everybody. And that was our last conversation about it.
What a legacy. That's his legacy that he left behind.
Yes.
Oh my God. So you're here telling his legacy too, along with.
Yeah.
And you're going to do incredible things. I know you are, because I can feel your heart and stuff. So let me say this. Onpassive, I believe, is changing the world one person at a time. It started with Asma Farrell, and it's continued on to me, you, Julie, all of us. We see the vision now. We connect the heart with the mind, and we see things that are going to happen. Okay. But I want to do a 2-part question on this. The first part, I want you to tell me, we're going to have all these apples come in, and you're going to have so many apples, you're not going to need them all, but tell me, what are you going to do when you become financial, when you get time freedom and stuff, and you have all the apples? I want to know, what is it going to do for Cynthia Brown? Is it going to get her a new car, new home? Tell me your dreams first, and then go into the other.
Well, my dream, I want to build my own house out of shipping containers. I want to buy me some land, and I want to drop like 8 of them and to make me a shipping container mansion, like something like that.
I know who you could connect to, because we had one of the founders actually living in one, which he created.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Marty Hertz.
But yeah, it's Marty Hertz. It's the one actually.
Oh, okay.
If you go back and watch the show with Marty Hertz, he tells all about it, man. He did a shipping container, and that's what he lives in down in Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for him.
Yeah, so it's on our show. So if you go to our playlist and find Marty Hertz, it was a great show. Okay, so you got that. You probably want a new car, right?
Well, I don't drive, but I probably would have me like a
chauffeur.
Yes, I'm gonna definitely have a chauffeur.
There you go.
I'm gonna have me a dirt bike or something like that. If I have land, I'm gonna have me some bikes.
Do you ride bikes?
I haven't in a long time, but I will.
Oh yeah, awesome.
I'll probably learn how to drive too.
Yeah, you might even have a butler. You never know, huh? Or
yes.
Chef. Okay, so now that we know kind of what you want, there's going to be stuff left over. A lot of stuff left over. The apples left over. What is your plan on doing with those?
I want to help veterans you know, homeless veterans. I want to help the homeless people that's on the streets, orphanage. You know, it's a lot. It's so many things I want to do. You know, and with One Passive, I could do a lot more. You know, and I've always wanted to be like a Santa Claus to an orphanage,
Oh, that's cool.
like that. Just give and just help. I just want to help wherever I can. You know, animals. I love birds and animals. It's a lot we can do.
Absolutely. Well, I love your passion. I love your heart, man, and I know you're going to do good things with it, you know, and you're going to have a wonderful life. And like I said, what a legacy that your father
Yeah.
left with you. I mean, this is something that's got to just make you so happy and thrilled.
Yes. Can I say one more thing? My
Absolutely.
my my dad gave me an idea. Like when he was real sick, when he couldn't drive anymore, he kept saying, you know, he always had to wait on a ride. So he said, he said I should uh, 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 make a car service for the old people so we won't have to wait no more. Uh, and he had a name for it and everything, so I might do that too. You know, I
There
want things for the elderly. Yeah,
I love that. I love that, man. And they do need, you know, more help in the veterans, like you said, and all those, you know. And the cool thing with Onpassive is you can buy them a spot in there and just let that thing just keep feeding them, you know. And
right.
it
Okay.
it's cool. So rather than giving them a fish, you can teach them how to fish, you know. And
Right.
it's awesome, man. But we're
Hmm.
running out of time, but I'll tell you what, Cynthia, it was so good having you on the show. And I want you to know your story knocked it out of the park today, man. And people
Thank
need
you.
to hear your story. So please share it. Thank you for coming on to the show.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Julie over there to end it up and take us home, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. Thank you, so much. Cynthia, thank you so much for being here with
You're
us.
welcome.
I totally see this story. You are making this story, this legacy that you are building. Not only that, you actually honor your parent in this
Oh
story because
yes.
you're telling us about your parents and about how it is that how much your parents involved with you, even those they're not here with us here. So it's a
Yes.
really awesome thing that you accepted the invitation to come here with us. But before I let you go, I have a last question for you. I know that there
Okay.
are a lot of people who are still on the fence and haven't taken the actions to become a founder. And then there are also a few others people that actually be a founder already, but hasn't logged into your back office. And I know you do log into your back office every day. So could you give us your word of wisdoms to those folks that hasn't take that action?
I just want to tell you, just get involved. It's it's amazing and exciting. And for those that's sitting on the fence, get off the fence. Birds sit on the fence. And on passive, we are eagles. Eagles sit on top of the mountain because we are in it to win it. And that's all I wanted to say.
I
I
love it.
say,
I loved it.
It's so beautiful what you just said. You knocked it right the park. We are the eagle, and
we
yes,
are
we fly
eagles.
high and we fly strong. So
Right.
thank you for that, Cynthia.
You're
There you have
welcome.
it, everyone. It's Cynthia Brown, our favorite founder. She is on every single post, every single video that she just come out there and share her heart out. If you hear this message and you haven't take the action like Cynthia did, go back to the person who shared this message with you. And if you are a founder and you haven't logged into your back office to see what's going on, you are holding the key to the treasure. And Onpassive back office is the treasure. So you need to get in there. Thank you so much for watching the Julie and Milo show. There are so many stories at julieandmilo.com. Not only that, we actually have a playlist where you could use those playlists to share with people because it's going to help you share the On Passive message. That playlist is how On Passive can help. please share that one. We also have our Friday night chat, fun chat. Friday night fun chat. It's really a time where all the founders are getting together, sharing their heart-to-heart story. Not only that, we're just trying to have some fun. So you are going to be able to see a lot of people on there and the culture of Onpassive. So we hope that you tap onto that as well. We also have the playlist that Curtis David Switch's Milo's brother, who is writing the inspirational home every day. And Cynthia loves this. Cynthia has one
Yes.
told me that she wakes up and she listened to that inspiration video every day because it lifts her up every day. So we hope that you tap onto that as well. Thank you so much for watching the Julie and Milo show. Please visit julieandmilo.com for the latest updates. As always, please stay well, stay healthy, and stay alive. Good night from Newport Coast, California.
Right. From Philadelphia.
Good night from Nashville, Tennessee.
Listen to the stories and how they tell when they join and how they're doing so well. Telling us what it's all about today and how they are loving that own passive way. On passive, here today on passive, there's no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, so then you can be the very first to know. On passive, it's a here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on passive.